The hotter it gets outside, the more I have to wear sweaters because my air conditioning's trying to kill me. Okay. I've now bought a dozen different business books that make the very convincing case that 10x is better than 2x. I know, that sounds crazy. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that just seems right. Okay, let's try that again. I've now bought a dozen different business books that make the very convincing case that 10x is better than 2x. Now, I'm no mathematician, but that seems right. So, if you want to lend my next $25, authors of the world out there, and you're thinking about writing a business book, I have the perfect title for you. 1000x is better than 10x. See, I didn't jump to from 10x to 100x. I leapfrogged past it. I made my moonshot into a Mars shoot. Actually, an even better title, InfiniteX. Welcome to week 3, sales week, day 20 of starting your side hustle. We're taking 28 days, 28 small steps to build a business that's meaningful, impactful, profitable. If you've made it this far, you're ready to multiply the trust you're fostering to InfiniteX. Or if you're a math nerd, to TransFiniteX. Okay, mocking aside, let's talk about trust multipliers, the levers that turn your trust building mindset into a force that deepens every relationship, that creates the network effect of advocacy and loyalty. Today's questions. 1. What's one small repeatable action you can take in every client interaction that will compound trust over time? This question matters because trust grows through repetition and consistency. All the recurring tiny actions that you take that show you care, that show you deliver on your word, that show you put your clients first, that all helps build trust. The right ritual, and it's different for everyone, the right ritual repeated can turn a single sale into a lifelong partnership. It's a great question to ask yourself because it forces you to get specific about what you personally can do today and every day to accelerate trust. Okay, question 2. Where can you introduce unflinching transparency or vulnerability that will proactively disarm skepticism and make you impossible to ignore? This question matters because most salespeople hide from their flaws. They protect their process. They avoid tough questions. Trust multipliers do the opposite. They invite scrutiny. They share their doubts. They turn every obstacle into an opportunity to prove their integrity. It's another great question because it pushes you to find that exact moment where a little discomfort can unlock a lot of trust. And what do we say to the god of discomfort? Today, because that's the secret to wealth. Unless you're born with it, the secret is discomfort. It's repeatedly failing, getting back up, learning from the punches you took, and getting back into the fight. Okay, take a moment and try to answer the day 20 questions for your hustle without AI, and for you, listen to the next section, the 28-day MBA. I personally think it's useful to try to answer questions without AI first, but if you'd rather do that first, the AI teaching assistant prompt will drop with today's case study in a couple hours. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Lunch Break Millionaire Day 0, or go over to superserious.com where I'm posting daily transcripts. The AI prompts are there too. That's it. Hustle smarter. We've been talking about the trust builder mindset all week. Trust multipliers build on that. They're a set of practices, frameworks, habits that are actively taught in elite business schools to leaders who want to build unshakable credibility, unshakable influence. How does an MBA learn about trust multipliers? With commitment loops, with vulnerability levers, advocacy engines, feedback flywheels. Let's turn all that jargon into plain English, rapid fire style. Let's do this fast. The commitment loop, what is it? It's just a fancy way of saying that every time you make a promise, big or small, and deliver on it, you create a loop of trust. The more loops you complete, the more trust compounds. How do you use it? You make small, specific commitments in every conversation, like, oh, I'll send you that by 3 p.m., or I'll follow up on this question right after our Zoom, or I'll share my notes from our call. And then you deliver on whatever you said every time. It's a small commitment, but it's also a small delivery, a small loop for you that demonstrates you do what you say you're going to do. Why does it work? Because it reinforces your reliability, makes clients more willing to take bigger risks with you. Small loops lead to bigger loops. Okay? Next, the vulnerability lever. What is it? It's sharing your mistakes, your limitations, your uncertainties, not as some mopey weakness, but as a sign of strength and honesty. How do you use it? When something goes wrong, say so. It's that simple. When you don't know the answers, say so. When you're unsure, ask for input. Why does it work? Vulnerability disarms skepticism, builds psychological safety. It makes you more relatable and trustworthy. And if you do it right, you throw in a couple of commitment loops and bam, bam. What else? The advocacy engine. What is it? It's when you turn satisfied clients into active advocates by giving them the tools, the language, the incentives to refer you. How do you use it? After you successfully engage a client, do what every call center employee on the planet does. Ask for feedback. Be explicit about it. Ask your client to share a testimonial. Offer them a simple way to refer others, like, who else do you know who's struggling with this? Why does it work? Someone else talking for you is the ultimate trust multiplier. When your client becomes your sales team, your impact, your trust spreads exponentially. And finally, the feedback flywheel. What is it? It's you actively seeking, acting on, and sharing feedback in real time. How to use it? At every interaction, frame your ask to be about your value to them. Like, what would make this even more valuable to you? And then, the hard part, actually implement the feedback and show the results. Why does it work? Because feedback loops signal that you're committed to growth and improvement. And they create a sense of co-ownership in the relationship. It's also little tiny, loops. You want to keep on doing those loops. Will that get you to InfiniteX? No. It wouldn't even get you to 10X because 10X itself is marketing bullshit. But every one of these practices we just talked about is worth your time. They're cardio for the trust-building muscles you're growing. It's how you hustle smarter. This is day 20, part 3 of Lunch Break Millionaire. This is the segment where we #build in public, where I answer the daily questions every hustle should, using the MBA skills we just picked up and showing my work, sharing how I'm building my hustle from scratch. No filters, just the real journey. You don't need to like or subscribe. I don't do this for the clicks. But if you're leveling up from other creators you follow or know, introduce us. I want to learn from them and help them level up too. We all deserve better than just making rich people richer. Okay, going off format today because I keep thinking about Seth Godin's idea of permission-based marketing. I mentioned it earlier this week, but I keep obsessing over it and how I would have loved a follow-up book called Permission-Based Sales and how that imaginary book would read like everything we've talked about over this past week. I think Seth Godin flipped a switch in my brain when he said, permission marketing is the privilege, not the right, of delivering anticipated, personal, relevant messages to people who actually want to get them. I didn't take that as a marketing tactic. It was spiritual. This entire week, we've been living this idea. Every day, we've been learning how to earn trust. How not to ask permission for it, but to earn it. We've been learning how to be the kind of person others want to hear from, the kind of person who is relevant and real. Today's trust multipliers aren't tricks. They're habits. They're the little things you do every day to show up, to listen, to deliver. They're the way you treat people when no one's watching. They're the way you pay permission forward by giving before you take, by helping before you ask, by building relationships before you need them. That's the real lesson today. That's the real lesson of this entire week. It's not about you. It's about them. It's about the people you want to serve, the people you want to trust you. And when you get that right, everything changes. You don't have to chase leads. You don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to kill trust. You get to be the person people invite in. You get to be the person people want to hear from. You get the privilege of permission, the kind of permission Seth Godin dreamed about, the kind that turns strangers into friends and friends into customers. Okay, how do I wind down this post? I know. Look, I could take this to like a cheesy place and say, trust is the currency of the future, but that would ignore that trust has always been the currency of business. The bar was just a lot lower in the past because everyone's standards were higher. I could take this to a cheesy place and say, permission is the privilege you earn. But again, I would ignore that permission has always been earned. It was just a lot more expensive in the past. You'd buy it with TV commercials, and TV commercials were expensive. I could take this to a cheesy place and claim that the only way to win when all the bars are as high as they are and all the standards are as low as they are and you've been priced out of everything your parents could afford, the only way to win is purpose. It's building a business that matters. Is that cheesy? I'm not sure. It's certainly true. Purpose and trust are like this. That's how you win. That's how you turn your lunch break into something way bigger than just a sandwich.